Hello students, today we will do poem number 5 of First Flight, the Ball poem written by John Berryman. Before we start with the chapter, let us read few lines about the poem, about the poet. John Berryman was an American poet and scholar. He is best known for the Dream Songs which he wrote in 1969 and which was a sequence of 385 poems. He won Pulitzer Prize for the Dream Songs and he also won National Book Award. Let us have a brief introduction of the poem. The poet John Berryman, through his poem, The Ball poem, has described the reality of life which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. Now students, before we proceed to the line by line explanation of the poem, let us have a look at the summary, a gist of the poem. The poet in this poem is talking about a little boy who has lost his ball. He was playing with his ball and unfortunately the ball skipped from his hand and went into the nearby water body. The poet says that this sight of the boy losing his favorite ball made him think about the boy and his reaction to this situation. He further says that the boy was helplessly looking into the water where his ball had gone. He was very sad and he was trembling with fear. He got so immersed in his sorrow that he kept standing near the harbor for a very long time and kept on looking for his ball. The poet says that he could console him, that he may get new balls, or he could also give him some money to buy another ball, but he stops himself from doing so because he thinks that the money may bring a new ball but will not bring the memories and feelings attached to the lost ball. He further says that the time has come for the boy to learn his responsibilities. Here the poet wants to say that now the boy will learn the toughest lesson of life, the lesson of accepting the harsh realities of life, that one day we'll lose our loved ones and even our loved things. So students, basically if we see about the central idea of the poem, we'll see that the poet describes the grief of a boy over the loss of his ball. And with that loss, he senses his first responsibility in a materialistic world, where those whom you love and your worldly possessions will not be with you forever. The poem shows how all through your life you will be forced to do those things that you don't want to do, and you will lose or have to give up the things that you love. But despite this, you have to learn to stand up, to be strong and get on with your life, no matter how much it hurts inside, because that is the only way you will survive. It thus teaches us to learn to accept and let go and not cling on to something that you can never have. So students, let us start with the explanation, textual explanation. So here in the box we see that the poet says a boy loses a ball, he is very upset. A ball does not cost much, nor is it difficult to buy another ball. Why then is the boy so upset? Read the poem to see what the poet thinks has been the actual lost, and what the boy has to learn from the experience of losing something. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime another ball is worthless. Now he senses the first responsibility in this world of possessions. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. The epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. So, students, let us start with the explanation of the first stanza. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. So students, the poet sees a boy playing with a ball. Then the boy loses his ball. The poet asks, what should the boy be feeling now? He asks, what will be the boy doing now? Because he saw the ball which was jumping over merrily. Bouncing means jumping over. He saw the ball bouncing merrily and then it was going down the street, and now in the same way it has fallen into the water and the ball is lost forever. So the poet thinks that there is no use of consoling the boy. He cannot be consoled if he is offered other balls in place of the lost ball. So here we see that the poem is about a little boy, and for the first time in his young life he is learning what it is like to experience grief at the loss of a much loved possession, that is his ball. The ball is here symbolic of the sweet memories of his childhood. The boy loses his ball and watches it bouncing down the street into the water. To us students, the loss of a ball is of minor consequences, but to that little boy it was a very valuable possession. The poet here deters himself from saying that there are other balls because the boy wants the same ball. The ball had been with him for a very long time, and it was linked to the memories of the days when he played with it. So here we see that the boy's ball personifies his young days and happy innocent days. Let us start with the second verse, students. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime another ball is worthless. So finally we see that a deep grief now overpowers the boy and he stands there shaking without leaving that place. Standing there, he stares down the place where the ball has disappeared in the water of the harbor. So the thing is, when the young boy loses his ball, it bounces away, and after it has been, after bouncing away, it lands in the harbor, and the boy is very much troubled at the loss of his ball, and he plunges into grief. He stands still and trembling while staring at his ball. He is upset as he looks into the gloomy water because he cannot find the ball. The boy is deeply affected by the loss of his ball because it has been with him for a very long time. And when the ball bounces into the water, all his memories of the childhood days flashes in front of him. This leads to a realization that those moments would not come back, just like the ball. Further, the poet does not offer him money to buy another ball because that would just be worthless. In the next verse, the poet says, I would not intrude on him. Intrude means encroach. I would not interfere. I would not intervene in this matter. I would not intrude on him a dime. Another ball is worthless. Now he senses his first responsibility in a world of possession. So the poet does not want to intervene or console the boy. He will not tell the boy that the ball he has lost costs almost nothing. He will not console him by saying that he can buy another ball quite easily. Now good sense prevails over the boy. He knows that in this world, people are always running after acquiring and owning things. They're running after materialistic powers. He realizes that what is his responsibility, what is his first responsibility in such a world. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. So the poet suggests that from the loss of the ball, the boy is learning what it means to lose something in this world of possessions, where he will lose things, will buy some more to replace the ones lost, but would never be able to buy back the thing that he had lost. In this poem, the boy's ball personifies his young days and happy innocence. The poet thus makes the boy understand about his responsibility, as this loss is immaterial. Money is external, as it cannot buy memories, nor can it replace the things that we love, the things that really matters. So buying and losing continuously, it is throughout our life. People will always buy such balls, and the balls they buy will continue to be lost. Once a ball has been lost, it is lost ball again. So money is totally external to our inner feelings. Money cannot compensate our emotional losses. Similarly, the childhood that we have lost forever cannot be brought back with money. So students, come to the fourth last line of the poem, which is the fourth verse also. He is learning well behind the desperate eyes this epistemology of loss, how to stand up knowing what every man must one day know and must know many days how to stand up. Desperate here means hopeless. Epistemology means to have knowledge. Epistemology of loss means understanding the nature of loss, to understand the nature of loss. So students, the boy with his hopeless eyes is beginning to learn the nature of loss. He is learning what it means to lose something. He has to learn how to come over the loss and stand up again in life. He has to learn this basic principle of life which every man of the world has to learn. He must learn how to bear the pangs of the loss of his childhood, and he has to move ahead in life, forgetting the loss of his childhood. So the poet suggests that from the loss of the ball, the boy is learning how to stand up in a world of possessions. The boy is learning what it means to lose something. The poet says that knowing that every man has to stand up after such losses, the boy too will learn how to stand up and leave the these losses behind, as he would have understood the true meaning and nature of loss. So students, here is where the poem ends. So what we have seen in the poem is that the ball poem looks like a simple story of a young boy losing his ball, and the boy is severely upset over the loss. Normally, it may seem like a great overreaction. Children lose things, for example, as their toys and balls, quite often. Usually, no fuss should be made about such a small thing. But the ball seems to be symbolizing here the poet's childhood. The boy becoming an adult loses his childhood days. He was clinging on to his childhood for so long, and the poet accepts the change in his life. Although he is still suffering, yet he is learning to move on from this fleeting childhood. The true theme of the poem is that we should cherish every moment of life. Life is really very short, and the poet realizes that it is very difficult to deal with the loss, but it must be done. We should move on as there is no use in wasting precious time and life. So, students, here we end the poem explanation. Whatever difficulties you will be facing in the poem, that will be sorting it out in our virtual class. Till then, goodbye everyone.